because like I did not want a job. I wanted to do something I really loved to do. I did not just want to work at something. I really just felt the desire that I have to have something that I absolutely love. And so that was a huge driver for me, and I was getting very, very low because I felt that the jobs I was trying, I didn't care for. And so it made me very, very low because I'm like, I'm doing this job and I don't like it. And I started to feel like, is there going to be any job out there that I like? It worried me. Because then I felt I couldn't live who I really was or be the full spark of who I was or really live to my fullest sense. I wanted to be passionate about what I do. I define social entrepreneurship as a venture that is for-profit or non-profit that delivers community value and generates revenue. I don't think that social entrepreneurship cannot generate revenue. There are some people who say I'm a social entrepreneur and they might be a part of a nonprofit. To me, you deliver community value and you generate revenue, both of those. I think you have to have strong business practices behind your organization. Otherwise, it's a nonprofit, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do believe that social entrepreneurship can be business, for-profit, social enterprise. Because I also had people that I garnered around me, like my Oma, believing in me, and I also have a very strong faith. So if you guys have spirituality, meditation, belief in nature, walks in nature, God, whatever it is, I definitely believe that. I was giving a talk the other day that your number one priority should be meditation or peace or saying good thoughts in your mind or prayer, whatever you want. Second for me is family. Third is my friends and foster care youth. I'm a court-appointed guardian for foster care youth on the street. Most of them have felonies and things like that, so I take care of them. And number 4 is universal giving. Because when I come into universal giving, I'm bringing my full self. I have my foster care youth, I have my family, I have God in nature. And so my groundedness of who I am isn't just universal. Yes, it's strong, Rowie, it's there, right? So when I come to universal giving, then I'm there saying I am a whole person. Not, what I don't want to do is I am not universal giving. And founders do need to separate themselves. You know, they cannot be one with that organization. You need to be separate and whole in your own person. So if you're grateful for things and you're grateful for those things, and your organization is number 4 in a good way, like as placed where it should be, then what happens is that you're already grateful for all this abundance in your life already. The richness of family and friends, and a belief in doing good. And I think the other thing that keeps you going is there was a time, for example, where I felt very low, where things just weren't moving that quickly. I'm walking down the street, and you know what? I just said hi to a homeless person, and I just said, hi. I said, how are you doing? And they said, you know what? You made my day. Thank you for recognizing me. And that kind of thing is, what I tell my team is, we are not giving back 9 to 5. We're not here to just come to the office and give from 9 to 5. We need to be walking down the street and saying hi to a homeless person, looking up at the sky and saying, thank you, there's no smog there. You know, thank you for allowing me to walk. There's people who can't walk. When you come from that lens of gratitude, it helps you get through the challenging times. We do have other revenue streams other than corporations. We do have that. So I think that's important to have different types of revenue streams. Another revenue stream we have on our site is a tip. While we don't take a cut in the donation, what we do is allow people to give a tip, and we found that 40% of people do. So rather than forcing people and charging them, we reverse the model, and we said, hey, if you want to give, you can give us a tip, and then it's of your own volition. And we felt more comfortable about that, and that's a revenue stream for us as well. Amazon Smile is a revenue stream for us as well. And then we have a 4th one, which is coming up that I can't tell you yet, but I'm very, very excited about it. It has to do with content. So you should always be thinking, very good point, about how to expand your different ways of revenue. Very, very important. Companies do not have to set up a foundation. In India they do. In India they have a 1% regulation that you've got to give back 1%. And it's an absolute law there, and it happened about 4 years ago. In the US we don't, but we have something very powerful here. Peer pressure. So all the companies, even if there wasn't a law, they're like, shoot, GE's doing this. Okay, I've got to do this as Mitsubishi, and I'm Gap, I got to do this. Boy, that positive peer pressure is awesome. It's making companies up their game in CSR, which is wonderful. You know, it does go back to a sense of, I think, real centering and grounding. Before I leave the day, I definitely go over a positive quote. it's anything. You can choose it from the 1800s and Emerson or the Bible or whatever it is. For me, getting grounded in that macro quote about what life is supposed to be about. Is life supposed to be about rushing around being stressed? Like seriously, like are we seriously supposed to be running around being stressed? Like I think about from a macro level rather than the internal level where we get faced with anxiety, right? So the internal level about me would be our generation now says, stress, anxiety, this is a real thing. I think that what I look at it is I think three things that you can do, Robert. Number one is look at the macro view, have a positive quote each day. You could choose the same quote for 30 days and just do it straight and just memorize it. I highly encourage memorizing quotes, Bible verses, things like that, because then it gets into the DNA of your brain and your brain recalls it. So memorize positive quotes and keep that going. Number two, silence and go over your gratitudes and make it a habit. You can't just walk out of here and go, I'm grateful that I'm at Hult, and then let it go. Talk about trying to get a goal to go over 20 things you're grateful for a day. 5 in the morning, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner, 5 in the evening. I'm still working on that. Now, I'm of a particular faith, and I'm not Muslim, but let me tell you one of the things I really learned from Muslims. They're praying 5 times a day. Can I do that? So I look at that and I go, I'm not Muslim, but I'm going to learn from them. Learn from other spiritual leaders or practices out there, and I go, why wouldn't I want to take that Muslim practice and be 5 times a day praying, being grateful, whatever it is. I think the biggest thing that we have to do, Robert, is we have a tendency, those of us who work with spiritual or inspirational things, to do it in the morning and do it at night. And what you have to do is infuse it throughout the day. So I have a library on my desk of certain inspirational books. I encourage anyone on my team, they're welcome to go look at. They can't take them, but they can take them and open them up and look at them. And I'm constantly trying to infuse throughout the day, recite positive quotes, recite positives, go over my gratefuls again and again and again. So it's really, Robert, it is about habit and just coaching yourself during that day to day. And also to do, like what my grandmother said, like, so Robert, when you're at a fire, right? You know how a fire, like an ember comes on you like that? What do? You flick it off. So that's what I do with anxiety. Flick it off. I'm like, get out. Get out of my mind. That's not gonna help me build my business. You've led me this far. I'm here to spread joy. I don't wanna give anxiety to my team. And I know that anxiety in my mind will be communicated whether I say it or not. There was a study on gratitude that said that there are actual provable electromagnetic fields inside you when you have goodness inside of you that radiate 5 feet out around you. The minute I read that study, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm responsible for every single thought in my mind. When I'm around my family, when I'm around my nephews and nieces, when I'm around the homeless person. Just because I don't say something doesn't mean it's not communicating itself. So we're responsible for keeping that purity, that joy, that love within us as much of the time as we can. Now, do I still face challenges? Of course. But I don't allow myself to wallow in it for 3 days. I look at it and I say, okay, what can I learn from this? What can I do about this? And keep going over the gratitudes and figure out a solution and try to be solution oriented. So that's part of what I would do. But it really goes down to the fact that when you go to lunch today, you sit down at lunch and you go, I'm so grateful I got to choose what I got to eat today. And you'll feel that, and you will attract people on your team who feel that sense of gratitude from you as well too. But it's a habit, and it does take work, and it's okay that it takes work. You know what, Sharon? It does happen, and that is where piece of paper, pen, stand up straight and look at it and say, what are the top 3 to 5 things I need to do to move this business forward? And really just literally put down those 5 things and try to do step only 1. And once you've done that, really just feel a sense of accomplishment and really recognize yourself for that. Because otherwise you get into paralysis analysis and you feel like you're stopped. Just stand upright, get a piece of paper and go look at this and go 1 to 5 things that I think I need to do to move my business forward. And go do step 1. Now, if you really don't know which things to do, you need to get a mentor and call your mentor. Soundboard things off him or her, ask them what you should do, but be prepared. Show them you've done your work and say, these are the 5 things I think I need to do to move my business forward. And do you think you can help me with one of them or what it can be? We all need a coach at time. We all need that. I have 15 under people that I have a 15-minute call with once a month. And so I get on the phone with them and listen to whatever their challenges are and help them brainstorm to walk through it. There's no shame in that at all. So I would get a coach and I would have someone coach and help you with that. And you can talk to them once a week or once a month. We'll help walk you through that. But it really is that simple practicalness of writing down those maybe just 3 steps, not even 5, and writing those 3 steps down and saying, I'm gonna do 1 today. I'm gonna prove to myself that I'm gonna do number 1 today. Even if that means registering the business name, right, for a trademark or whatever it is, maybe that's the 1 thing. If you're still confused, go back to your business plan. Go back to that executive summary, reread it, let it spark in your mind. How can you get back to that? If you haven't written your business plan, write the business plan. It's there. It's a good question. And I think you go through renewal moments at different times, points of renewal of sometimes it's a volunteer who says, like for example, the other day I got a call from someone and they said, hey, I heard about you, I used your site, I want you to know that I volunteered and I went down to Haiti with my daughter and we had a great trip. You know, you feel like you're alive. You feel like, oh my gosh, someone used the site and they called me and they let me know that. That makes you feel alive, right? There's other times when maybe if you're feeling like you're not a lot of energy, then you need to, for a while, you need to leave work at 5 every day. Do a nice, solid 9 to 5 day. Don't work extra hours. Kind of, if you're feeling like you're getting burnt out, regain your energy from that. Some people I know have taken sabbaticals for a month or 2 months, things like that too. My biggest goal right now is that I don't think about transferring to someone else nor merging. What I think about is building in a long-term team that is sustainable long-term that will help make universal giving go and be large for hundreds of years down the road. That's what I think about as I think about its future. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you.